What's up?
Yo,
Cool Ranch Corner, number 58, baby.
who are we having on for 60?
I don't know. We'll talk about it later. It's
Okay.
a surprise.
Oh, it's a surprise.
uh,
Sam Hyde.
oh my gosh. Um, Anything new with you this week?
I'm almost third prestige in BS6. I'm like level 50. I will probably hit 55 tonight. So
We'll we'll
I'm keeping
talk
my
about Black Ops
promise.
6
I'm
later.
keeping my
I have
promise.
some stuff to say about it, but it's fun. Great.
I'm loving that
Best
game, dude.
best COD in years.
It's so good.
Um, I am. I've got meetings. We've got meetings going for my film, so it's feeling starting to feel real. Um, I really can't say anything, but I'm excited. I'm really excited. I'm working on the shot list, which is I don't know how to explain it. Like, except you're literally making a list of like, all right, here's the scene. Like, here's scene one, and then here's shot A, and then shot B, and like you get all the coverage that you want, so that when you go into editing, you can switch to the angles you want.
Right.
So it's really like picturing the film in your head, which is really fun. It's like it feels like it's like a reward. It feels like a reward for like getting the script done and getting it to pre-production. So but it is work. Like I can see how some people might be like, that's my least favorite part of the process, but I really like it.
Uh,
I
I
think it's where it comes to life in my
I
head.
really
So
like it in movies when they have like a conversation that's like very fast paced, and so the angle keeps changing between who's actually speaking, because it really makes you feel like when you're in a conversation, but you're not the one talking. You have two people who are like arguing about something, and you're like looking back and forth between them. It's like the same exact feeling, but it's like you get to eat popcorn while it's happening.
yeah, like I mean, I think action movies are a really good example. Like I just watched Gladiator for the first time since I was a kid,
Oh dang!
and the action scenes do not hold up. It's so cutty to the point where you feel like you can't really see what's going on during the
Wow.
fight sequences. Which was part of an issue before like the Bourne movies came out. People would say that you can't really see the punches land and stuff like, or it just looks over choreographed. And then the Bourne movies introduced like a new way of doing that, I guess, which some people didn't like because it's very jarring how much it cuts back and forth. But I feel like by the third movie they really nailed it, where it was like a good balance of this feels real, but this is also like super high octane, fast paced. Anyways, um, Boy Loco passed 67,000 views,
I'm telling
so
you,
we
man.
are
Like it's gonna be a 70, probably by like Monday, right? You think so?
yeah probably. And at
Dang, man.
70K, we're trying Lunchly, so
Take a
I
look at the
hope there's no
queso
mold in
cheese
it.
inside of Lunchly.
Yeah,
Dude,
I like my cheese drippy, bro.
I am during the gaming session we had today with the
Which was
patrons.
great.
Yes, it was great. Um, we did kind of talk about like there's a chance that it might get discontinued.
They already pulled it from Walmart.
Did they really?
Yeah, Walmart's not selling it, but Albertsons, they have like there's three of them now. They came out with another one. It's like some turkey
Oh,
thing.
is
I
it
don't
is
know.
it is it the cracker with the ham and cheese or whatever?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah, we're gonna get all three and try them
I feel
and
bad
rate them.
because the intention is kind of good. Like they were like, "Oh, we're gonna make sure we don't have preservatives in the cheese so that it's like more natural." But also like there's a reason they do that, you know?
Yeah, no, I feel like the same thing kind of happened with Mr. Beast Burger, where Mr. Beast underestimated how much difficulty there is in terms of quality control, which I think
Yeah.
also applies to this. So yeah, I don't know, but we're gonna try it when we hit 70K. Don't know what we're gonna do at 80K, but once we hit 100K, then we're gonna start doing goals at like 25,000 increments.
Yeah.
And then when we get to 200,000, it's gonna be 50,000. And then when we hit 500,000, this is way down the road. Then we go in 100,000 increments, and then when we hit a million, um, I'm gonna start an OF. No, I'm just kidding. I don't
So
know.
because so at the current rate, right? Probably 500K in like a year,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
I mean that's
That
pretty crazy.
it's about we're averaging somewhere between like 1,500 to 2,000 views a day,
Yeah,
and I've noticed that as my YouTube views fluctuate, so do the views for Pollo Loco. So they
yeah,
seem like they feed into each other. So if we have an explosion on YouTube Shorts, which we have a couple times a year, from our experience, I don't know what that does to Pollo Loco. You know what I mean? Does
yeah.
that have all of a sudden an explosion and gains 50,000 views in a week or something? So I don't know, man. But it's really cool to see that people are watching it and appreciating the time that we put into it and the effort. So thank you guys for continuing to support Pollo Loco. All of the Creators Unite episodes have been added to IMDb. I finally finished that. That is very tedious, but it is done. Cool Ranch Corner is all on there. So now the next thing is I will be looking into adding all of the audio only versions to Spotify and Apple by the
Yep.
end of the year. So
Here we
gonna be a lot of
go,
work, but
dude. It's gonna be
I'll
great,
do
man.
Cool Ranch Corner first though. So
Yeah,
um
I do genuinely wonder like how many people choose not to watch the podcast and they choose to listen instead. And because I mean,
yeah.
what like for example, if I watch like Joe Rogan or PK or whatever, right? I like having the visual there, but I know like I kind of mentioned it in the episode where we were talking about taillights, right? Like the original episode we were talking about taillights.
Hmm.
Some people will just listen to a podcast while they're driving around, and yeah, you probably shouldn't be looking at what what.
Nothing. Finish your statement.
Oh God, I'm worried. Um,
Finish your statement.
but like that does affect like the actual experience of tuning into the podcast because it's harder to like for example if I'm like quote unquote right if I put like air quotes but I don't say air quote or whatever right people might not get that I'm being like sarcastic right so I do wonder how that would affect things I know like I've heard Joe Rogan like he said before like someone did air quotes and they didn't specify they were using quotes and so you hear him go air quote I'm like
I have a question. Are you seeing a frame rate drop at all?
no
I was seeing it for a second.
no
We had okay, so one thing that happened this week before we go to our main topic, which is a doozy. Um, we just out of nowhere got hit by a winter storm.
yeah it's been cold here
It,
too
yeah, but we literally got like a foot of snow.
oh
It
well
was crazy. I went to a movie and when I came out, it was like a blizzard. And I drove home in that, and it was ridiculous because people were driving with their hazards on, just going like 5 miles an hour. And I'm like, dude, you're gonna take an hour to get home because they're driving on the freeway that slow. And I'm like, the snow is gonna start sticking. I'm getting out of here.
you
You
might
know
as
what I
well
mean?
just
Like,
walk home
oh. But anyways,
I thought you're not supposed to even do that or like you're supposed to have your hazards on if it's like really hard to see I thought that was like you're supposed to drive at normal speed and then don't drive slow I don't remember this.
everybody was driving like an idiot,
Well, dude,
man.
well
It was really sketchy. And then
here,
somebody hit a power line or something, and so our power was out the next day for like
uh,
6 hours.
well, because here, like, it was like probably back in July, we had like a really bad day where there's just a ton of rain, and I remember I had a really bad migraine, and I was like, yeah, I'm going home early. Like, I feel like garbage. I need to go home, and so I'm driving home, and like when you don't feel good and like you're going somewhere and you're like, I don't know if this is a good idea. And then as you're heading back, because you still don't feel good, it feels like the drive takes forever. Like I had that, but it was like, I remember it's raining, so it's already hard to see. And then there's this car that's right in front of me going like 20 below the speed limit, and it's like 35, right? And I'm dying in my car, and I'm like, move! I was like, I was so ready to just like give up. Just like, you know what? Like I don't want to do this anymore,
My
bro.
my worst experience with like driving and not feeling well is being like hungover, like going to get like Jack in the Box or something.
Well, it sucks because like I've had times where I've driven home from work and I really don't feel good, and like something about that drive, it always feels like it's twice as long, right?
Yeah,
And I don't know if it's because you're being more cautious because you don't feel
everything
good.
pisses you off.
Yeah, dude. And
Come on.
well, and then what's worse is I get home and I have to go up the stairs, and so I'm like already dead, and then I'm like, all right, now I gotta go up two flights of stairs, and it just it's bottom
Yeah,
line, yeah, like people drive like super slow in weather
whenever
conditions they're
it's
not
like,
familiar
yeah.
with, yeah.
Anyways, the reason I was laughing earlier while you were talking is because I was like, oh yeah, I got a haircut. And I was like, can you really tell that I got a haircut? And then I look to you and I'm like, oh Jesus.
Dude,
But it is much shorter, but I honestly left the hairstylist and I was like looking at the back and I was like, oh, we could take more. I'm definitely gonna take more off the back, but I like the length on the top. I think even like this is as short as I'm gonna go on the top.
I'm gonna get a
But
haircut tomorrow probably. It's been a minute, so
nice. Yeah.
um, but yeah, I don't
I
know,
got tired
man.
of having so much hair in the back, man. It was starting to, and then when I'm running a lot for this film, and so I'd be on the treadmill and I'm like just constantly having to brush my hair back because it keeps like moving forward into my face, and I'm like, yeah, this has got to go.
With the wind from the weather recently, it's a nightmare because I'll put effort into making sure that my hair stays in place, like use some sort of product, right? And the wind just and it just goes all over the place, and suddenly like all integrity that your hair had is gone. It just
Yeah, it's
I'm tired of it.
yeah. Anyways, that's what's new this week. Our main topic. We found out who our 47th president is.
So I have a conspiracy corner for this.
Okay.
So now I'm gonna say this right now, okay? I don't really have an opinion on the whole like rig conspiracy theory they had for 2020's election, right? I think it's very hard to prove. There's always going to be some sort of fraud that happens, right? But
Mhm.
people were looking at the numbers and they were
I
like
saw.
they were like where did 20 million votes go? And
Yeah,
you
like
look, it was like 100 was 140 or 160 million votes from the past like few elections, and then the one from 2020 was like 180 or something. I don't remember, but it was like 20 million more, right?
I would have to look up the data to really see, but I would not be surprised if the 2020 election was like the most votes ever. But
It
it's
is. It is.
weird if it is, that's weird that they wouldn't talk about that,
Well,
you know?
so here's
They
here's
didn't they definitely didn't make a big deal about that.
here's my theory, right? So, a lot of people were saying, "Oh, maybe it was rigged." In 2020, did people have lives? Not really, right?
No.
So I assume that most people during that time were like, "Well, I got nothing better to do. I'm gonna vote." Right? And now people are like, "Well, now I gotta, drive over there, or I
I
gotta mail it
requested a
in, or
mail-in
whatever."
ballot and it never showed up.
Yeah. Oh, they sent mine, and I didn't even request it. They just sent mine to me. And I was like, "All right, cool.
I think it either went to the wrong address or I don't know, they
Someone
just didn't
voted
send
for
me
you."
one. I well, okay. For people who don't know what we're talking about, there's a chart that's been going around the internet. I've seen it everywhere, honestly. I've seen it on TikTok.
Twitter.
Everybody keeps referencing X. Yeah, I keep seeing people reference this chart, and it's a chart that shows, is it the popular vote? I believe
I
it's
think
like it
so.
shows like the total amount of votes
Oh,
for both major candidates, so the Republican and the Democratic candidates, and they show that Obama got like, what was it, like 62 million in 2008, and then in 2012 he got like 68 million, And then in 2016, Trump got like 67 million. And these are the winners. So these are the ones that got more votes. And then in 2020, Biden got like 81 or 82 million, which is just like a crazy spike. And then Trump also got more votes
It was like 5 million
last
more
election
votes.
than he did this election. And so, yeah, it begs the question, like, was there some inflated numbers there from fraud or whatever? Because I think Joe Rogan mentioned, like, it really does seem like Trump doesn't have any evidence, but somebody who crunched the numbers was like, yeah, something's off here. And so, like, that set off the alarms, and his whole, thing was like, yeah, it was rigged. Um, but yeah, it makes me wonder, like, did we have just like a record number of voters, or was something fishy going on? At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It's history. It's over.
Yeah.
But it does make you wonder. And we didn't have the data for this year to compare it to yet. And so now that we do, it makes it seem even fishier, because they talk about how this was like a record early voter turnout or whatever, like half the votes basically came in early this election, which usually it's only like a quarter or a third. And so that's a pretty big shift. Um, but who knows? But anyways, Trump won. And
Yeah.
it is crazy. I'm seeing all these celebrities in public who like said that they were gonna like move out of the country. Like these reporters are just walking up to him like, "So you leaving?" Like I saw Bryan Cranston this morning walking out of a grocery store and like, or a Starbucks or something, and this reporter's like, "Hey, so you like?" Because Tom Hanks left. I don't know if you saw that. He left.
What?
Tom
Where?
Hanks is like, I don't know. I didn't see where he moved to, but a lot of people are saying, oh, it's because he's on like the Epstein and the Diddy list. So
Yeah, well, that I
who
have
knows?
heard. But I mean, I don't know. I think it's insane because like first off, dude's not even president yet. Like he's the president elect, right? But also like, have you seen all the stuff that's happened since the election as far as like other countries being like, yeah, we want peace. We want peace. And then Europe is like
Yeah,
Europe's
the
like
other countries.
did
Oh
did
man,
did you hear that the EU is going to start buying oil from us again instead of Russia?
yeah,
I was like,
dude. There's a
I was like,
lot of things, a lot of crazy things, like Bitcoin surged, the stock market surged.
dude, Bitcoin
Um,
has hit a new all-time high like every single day for the past like 5 days.
is Ethereum moving at all though?
Yeah, it's at 3,087 right now.
Hmm. But yeah, it's really interesting to see the responses, because I mean, luckily there was no rioting, which I was scared of,
Me too.
because that's never good. There was some like peaceful protesting in like Chicago. I saw that.
I didn't see anything about that at all. We
It
didn't have
didn't get a
anything
lot of
here.
news.
Um,
Yeah, I don't think we had anything here.
Granted, I mean, so
Some people shaving their heads.
Arizona is still counting, by the way. I don't know if you saw that.
Arizona and isn't Nevada still counting?
Nevada actually finished last night. So
Wow.
he's at like 302 right now or something like. Let me see.
I think they said it's gonna end up being like
He's
314
he's
to
he's at 301. Yeah, it's gonna be 314. No, 312.
312 to like 227 or something.
226. Um, it's so crazy. And dude, you know what was crazy to me though? Like the really crazy thing. So I'm at work and I'm watching the map as time goes on, right?
Hmm.
And like I was like, dang man, like nobody on the West has even like started to pop up yet, right? And then you see California immediately turn dark blue. A few minutes later, Washington turns dark blue, and then Oregon turns light blue. And I was like, that happened fast. Well, we looked at California, and they didn't have any of the votes in yet.
No,
I
they
was like,
didn't. Well, the
whoa.
crazy thing is, New Jersey. People were like, that I saw rumblings like on the internet. People were like, "Oh, New Jersey might flip," and then like, then it shifted and it didn't end up happening, obviously. But if that had happened, that would have been insane. I saw New York wasn't The split with New York wasn't as crazy as I expected either. I thought it would be closer to like California numbers.
It's like
But
55 and 44.
California, there was a lot of counties that normally vote blue. Like Riverside County, I think went red, which is crazy. Like which is like outskirts of LA, Chris. Like that's not far from LA. Um, so I'm curious to see what is California's final numbers up yet? Because I know they were counting for a while too.
They are at 63%, so
Yeah,
they're still not done
I
yet.
think they're going to be counting for a while too. But I would not be surprised if when it's said and done, they look at California and they go, "Wow, like a lot more people voted Republican here than we thought." That's crazy. But look, I this is all I have to say about who won. I just hope that the circus is over. I hope that next election, maybe it's JD Vance and somebody else respectable, and we can have a real like election with two candidates who don't feel like they're both, I guess, not qualified enough for the role, or I don't know. It has been a crazy what 8 year? No,
Yeah, it's been 8 years.
2016. That was 4 years. Yeah, no, this is like a crazy 12 years. Like I think that the last two elections and then this one, like these three terms, it's just I'm curious to see how this 4 years compares to Trump's first 4 years because we had a gap in the middle. You know what I mean? And so I think anytime we switch from Republican to Democratic president wise, it's very flip floppy. Policies get tossed out that just got enacted. Policies that were enacted before get reinstated. Like you know what I mean? There's a lot of changes that I think are going to happen, and one of them that I'm excited about is I think everybody seems to be on the same page about the health department. That if RFK takes over the health department and really cracks down on the bad chemicals in our food in this country, like that's good for
He said
everybody.
he's already trying to get fluoride removed from
Yeah,
everything.
because I was actually looking it up after I saw his stance on it because Joe Rogan was talking about how he hasn't used fluoride in his toothpaste for like 5 years now, and so I looked up a toothpaste that's like a safer alternative because they say that like I don't want to get into the weeds about fluoride, but basically they say that it's good for your teeth, and that's why they put it in the water. But when you look at how much is in the water, it's not enough to help your teeth.
Hmm.
And there's like it's like if you have too much fluoride, so like people who drink a ton of like tap water and stuff, they can get what's called like fluorositis or something, where like it has something to do with how your bones calcify or something like that, and that can be bad for your bones. So like
Shouldn't that
that's
also
scary,
be bad for your teeth
but
too? Because your teeth are basically just bones.
it's like, yeah, it can be bad for your teeth too. Like you get these white spots on your teeth, I saw.
Mm.
So I don't know. I don't know enough about fluoride, but it seems like it's one of those things that it comes from they used to originally get it from the same shit that they used to like fill in potholes on the road. Like it is not it's one of those situations where it feels like they needed to find a way to dispose of something, and so they're like, oh, we can use this to like just take fluoride and put it in, like here's a way to get rid of it, you know what I mean? And it seems like a lot of these bad chemicals are like that. Like he talked about the chemical that makes it's like a yellow dye. Maybe that's what it was. The yellow dye comes from the freaking pothole, not the fluoride. My bad. That sounds I sound like an idiot now. um but there's the yellow dye that's on like popcorn and a bunch of other stuff. He was talking about how that's literally like what they use for like asphalt. And so I'm like, yeah, that's not cool. Um, and there's like 100 chemicals that he wants to try and get rid of, and that's gonna completely gut our fast food industry, man.
So
They're gonna have to change everything.
I do want to on a much how do I
God,
say it? A much more like
fluoride, asphalt.
much more
I'm
positive
surprised he
note.
didn't go.
Well, I didn't know for sure. I didn't. I mean,
Yeah,
fluoride
no,
itself isn't from asphalt,
no.
but the
I can't
chemical
remember where they said
process.
they. I can't remember where they say they get the synthetic fluoride I don't know. However they make it for
Um,
stuff.
but
I forgot where it comes from, but
on a much more positive note. So, um,
I'm an
but
idiot. Don't listen to me.
anyways, Biden had a little speech after the election because people forget he is president.
Yeah,
And so he had to address the nation. Um, and
very odd.
honestly, he had
I watched the whole thing.
it was actually kind of inspirational, I would say. And I was like, that's
It was one of the best speeches I'd seen him give,
well, I mean, like
maybe ever.
he had a good message, like he was saying like, trust your election system, like
Yeah, our elections work.
yeah.
They're not fraudulent.
And he was also like, and remember, like, even if someone was on the other side, they're still an
We
American.
are still one. Yeah.
Yeah. So and I was like, good. I was like, good job. That was what we
But
needed.
did you notice that he was like word perfect all of a sudden?
So he did have a couple stutters. I will say, like, people were
But
like people were
I've
like he was
watched,
on his A game,
yeah.
and I'm like, it wasn't perfect, but
No, he was on his A game because if you go back and watch him talk, 20 years ago, he always had those stutters here and there. But that was weird that all of a sudden he's just like got more pep in his step
so
again.
conspiracy corner number 2 for today, because people are saying that Joe and Jill Biden voted for Trump, and
Yeah, I did
the,
see that because
the
she wore all
she
red.
wore all
Dude,
red,
we're
and
recording a little later than usual, and the sun's in my face.
cry about it.
I'm gonna back up a little bit.
But I was like, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised because he also did that thing where he put the Trump hat on, and
Yeah,
then
that was really odd.
people are saying he seemed really happy, and
He was very happy
I
during
like,
that speech,
and
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 afterward, he was like,
and then
like walked off. I was like, what?
Trump and Biden are gonna go get lunch at some point soon. I did hear about that.
Yeah, they're like friends or something.
And so honestly, like, and you know what? That to me is that's what I want. I want them to be friends because that's really cool. The idea of these people, they ran
Yeah,
against each other, they were talking
I
so much smack against each other, and then now they're gonna go hang out, and that's
they're
cool.
gonna drive his garbage truck to the nearest McDonald's.
Yeah, but
um,
I the the last thing that I really need to say about selection is
I'm just glad
please
it's over.
please don't turn it into something weird, because I go on Twitter literally like the day after and I'm seeing so much stuff that was like racist from both sides.
Yeah,
And
that's what made me really sad. I mean, there was a lot of people on the right who were definitely rage baiting. I noticed.
yes.
Um,
But also I had
it's not
I
cool
had
either.
I had seen a lot of people who were on the losing side who were they were like, yeah, this specific minority group did not vote the way they should have. Like, we need to have a talk about them. And I was like, what? You need to have a talk about a minority group because they didn't vote the way that you wanted.
I
That's
don't think
weird.
it's really weird to me that people think like, oh, like people voted wrong or something like that, and I'm just like, are you listening to the statement that's coming out of your mouth or that you're typing? That makes no sense. It defeats the whole purpose of an election to be like,
Yeah.
oh, well, we had an election, but people voted wrong. It's like, no, they didn't vote wrong. People just didn't vote for what you wanted.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't like seeing that. Like I said,
Yeah.
I think we have a family friend who I'm not going to name, but I mean, I remember 2016 when that election was happening, and he was like, "Yeah, it's like, do you want a poop sandwich or do you want a poop sandwich with cheese?" And it's like, I guess this election, Trump was the sandwich with the cheese on it, so we chose that one. But
What if you're
it,
lactose intolerant? Then you choose just the regular poop sandwich.
still a poop sandwich though. That's the thing, you know. What I'm trying to say is that I hope the next election we have better candidates that don't make it a circus
Yeah,
and
yeah, and
um
I did see a pretty interesting point get brought up, and someone was saying like, if JD Vance had just run, would he have gotten anywhere? And people were saying
no, I don't think
no,
people knew who he was.
probably not. And even though he seems like a pretty stand-up guy, uh,
Very his how do you say it? His verbal IQ is
yeah,
fucking high, bro.
yeah.
Such a good talker.
So even though he seems like a good dude, if you don't know about him, then you're not gonna vote for him, right? And so this
Right.
is probably like how he gets his name out there, and then next election he's probably gonna run. I would not be
That's what
surprised
I'm
with that.
thinking. I think and like I said, I think I feel good about the idea that we will hopefully have better candidates next time and it'll be less about the theatrics of it all, but
I do think it's very funny that every like the stock market just immediately shot up afterwards.
yeah. But before we move on, be nice to each other.
Yeah,
I've seen a lot of people just be hostile to each other, and definitely go check out. Even if you don't care for any of it, you don't care about RFK. His video about the state of this country's food was very eye opening, and it's definitely something I can get behind. I really hope that he does get to. I hope they do make these changes because I hate watching these videos on YouTube where they compare our food to fast food from another country, and it's just like sad. Our food is just so much more processed and full of bullshit, man.
what were we talking about? Was it Fanta that was like yellow in the UK and it's like neon orange here? Was that what
Yeah,
it
they
was?
literally
Yeah,
can't. They've banned those crazy dyes, like because they've shown that each one has all these bad side effects when you consume them for long periods of time or large amounts. And so one of the points that RFK had that I was like, holy shit, I didn't even think about it that way. What are these things doing to our bodies in combination with each other? You know what I mean? We don't have
true.
any studies that show that. So we need to get rid of this shit. Cuz it's going to by the time they get information that shows what's good and what's bad or like what's safe in combination with each other and what's not, like so many people are going to have developed illnesses and stuff. I mean, Joe Rogan was talking about how when our food industry changed in like what was it, the 80s, where we just like all of a sudden junk food exploded and everything and that was everywhere. So did all these health problems. Like we're behind. We're behind when it comes to the quality of our food in this country, and I really hope that um, that's one of the things that everybody can get behind. The fact that we need to step up our game because we are obviously one of the most obese countries on the planet, and we shouldn't be because our quality of life standards are we're not in a third world country where it's like you can blame the fact that you're out of shape on the fact that you can't go to a gym because there are no gyms where you live. You know what I mean? Or there's no grocery stores close to you, so you have to buy food from gas stations and stuff to like survive. You know what I mean? It's just
Yeah.
not. It's crazy, man. I don't want to go off on a tangent on that. I'm sorry. The food thing is just important to me though, because I'm very cautious about what I eat.
Yeah.
To an extent. I like to have fun every once in a while. Eat a fried Twinkie here and there.
Okay, random thing. Those deep fried Twinkies,
Watch that video.
when they had them for a bit, I'm telling you, man, like
Crazy.
they were really good. They were really good.
Yeah.
Do they still have
Where you could
them?
buy them at the store. No, it's like they.
That was for like, was that for what's the Zombieland? Was that for Zombieland that they did that or what?
I don't think so. It was just like a thing that they did when
Mm.
Hostess came back or whatever. But damn, I was gonna say something. I lost my train of thought.
Well, you want to do
Oh,
it?
I mean, we banned trans fat, right? But the way that we banned it was like, because trans fat is
They're not. What do you mean banned? That's not a thing. They didn't ban it. What?
they banned trans fat from like I think pretty much the whole entire like food industry here. But the stipulation was they couldn't buy anymore or manufacture anymore, but they were allowed to use what they have. And so there's still trace amounts of trans fats in a lot of the foods we eat.
Wait,
And
yeah,
that is supposed to be like the number one contributor to heart disease.
it's so this is the AI overview from Google, so I don't trust it, but it says yes, artificial trans fats are banned in the United States, but small amounts could still be found in some foods. So artificial trans fats have been banned. So organic trans fats, like things that just are naturally occurring, may still be allowed, it seems like.
I know Taco Bell made a big deal about not having trans fat anymore, but like I'm surprised when I eat food and look at nutrition facts and I'm like, damn, there's a gram of trans fat in every serving of this. So if I eat 3 servings, get some nasty fat going into my heart. Um, anyways, I'm sorry, we went off topic big time.
Okay.
I this week took it out of me, man.
Yeah.
I
Dude,
seriously,
same.
it's been, I mean, the winter storm, all that stuff. So I am like coming down from just one of the craziest weeks we've had all year. And not only that, I'll talk about it later, but I saw probably my favorite movie of the year last night, and so I'm still kind of coming off that high because when you watch a movie that really like makes you feel something, I can't stop thinking about it for a while. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that's where I am with that movie. So crazy week. But we're gonna do a quick ad break. Support us with Patreon. Like I said, we were playing Call of Duty with a group this morning, and it was a blast.
The
New count
entire the
24/7
entire
hardcore.
time you heard three things. You heard, "Oh no, our table, it's
It's
broken,"
broken.
and then the pill and Ibiza, and then woo, I'm about to make a name for myself. The
Yeah,
entire time, dude. It's great though. I loved it. It was
it
fun.
was fun. Come join us. They have 10v10 now, so we have room.
Yes.
Uh, G Fuel code Danny D gets you 20 to 30% off at gfuel.com. They just restocked cans. Cans are back.
Are
Um,
there any Nemesis tea cans?
no.
Oh
Dude,
no.
they discontinued Nemesis Tea years ago. Years ago. Like that can I haven't seen a can of Nemesis Tea in
It
ages.
was so good though, dude.
It was, but I don't know if it's ever coming back. 'Cause it's one of those licensed property cans,
But
you know.
I guess.
Um, right now the only like licensed property cans I see are like gaming ones, I guess. Or sorry, Wumpa fruit. I haven't seen in a while. All I see is like dragon fruit, which is Spyro, and then like the horror cans, which are
Flavor Bomb
I don't
was
even know if you
really
can get
good,
those
bro.
anymore.
Flavor Bomb's
Flavor
can
Bomb is
was
great.
to die for, dude.
But anyways, get some cans. Clickbait's back, which is a solid flavor. They just announced that restock. They've been restocking flavors a lot. And then you can also use code Danny D for 10% off Fit Butters.
Yes, sir.
Uh, they've been doing some interesting little sales and stuff. They did one that I think is over now, where if you spend at least $50, you get a free jar of pumpkin pie Fit Butters. That's cool that they were doing something like that. They're great to work with. Great company. Great product too. Get you some. But one of the things that you get access to as a patron is G Fuel giveaways or giveaways in general. This week's G Fuel giveaway is a starter kit, and that goes to Mouthwash One.
That's a great name. Mouthwash.
Congratulations, Mouthwash. I'll be reaching out to you in the next 24 hours to give you your starter kit code. But you also get the ability to ask questions. So we're gonna get into our patron questions. Dude, I might take a nap after this. I'm actually like tired.
I'm gonna play some Black
Um,
Ops 6 after this, bro.
I got one TikTok I got my Nora review to do, and then I'm like done for the day. I think I'm gonna take the family to dinner and then take a nap
Okay, random thing. I for some reason I've had the like
or nap then dinner.
you ever crave something and you can like almost taste it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey, we get off topic.
hold on. I've been having that with Olive Garden for the past like 3 days, bro. And
Oh my
I'm getting
gosh.
real tempted, man. I'm getting real
Just
tempted.
go.
But then I gotta drive there, and then I gotta wait, and they're gonna mess it up.
Live life, man. There's a world outside your apartment. Go experience it.
I don't like it
People
though. I
watch.
don't like it. People watch.
Yeah, you never people watched?
No, that's weird.
How is it weird? You're just in public and like people are interacting around you and you're just like, oh, look, that guy's walking his dog. Oh, that person just bought some ice cream.
Well, then I feel
Oh, that
bad.
guy is getting mad because he doesn't have the correct change.
Yeah, but they're
You know what I
my.
mean? It's just like normal observations.
But
I'm
they're.
not saying you like watch somebody with a tape recorder.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying like they're minding their own business and you're paying attention. Like if something embarrassing happens,
I
they
don't mean
don't.
stare.
Well,
You're not like just
still,
be aware of your surroundings and like
I don't know. I don't know, man. If it was me, I would. If
what
I
do you
like
think people did before phones, man?
talk, read, draw, cook
Talk?
food
When's the last time you said hi to a stranger?
to a stranger,
Yeah.
define stranger, like someone at work I've never talked to
Like
before, or
okay,
someone out in public.
like trying to find a good example. Like okay, you walk outside of a store and there's like somebody putting carts away and they go, "Have a good one." And you go like, "Yeah, you too. Thanks." When's the last time you interacted with a stranger?
Like last weekend, like literally like last
What
weekend.
was the interaction?
Literally that. It's like I'm not even kidding. It was that.
The guy putting carts away?
Yeah, dude. Like
That's oddly specific. That's crazy.
I mean, like that's yeah, but that literally happened last weekend. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's funny when people are like, how's it going? You know, and you're like, good, you? And they're like, not too bad. So you
Well,
just keep
so
going.
because the thing is like so I know we're getting off topic, but so
Yeah,
when
we'll circle back.
when I get into work, and I have to go through the gate, right? There's they have security there, and so every single time, you show them that hey, I work here, and they'll sometimes have a conversation with you, and so yeah, like I have to interact with strangers quite a bit. Like sometimes I recognize people, but like there was a woman that I had never seen before, yesterday, and I was like, oh okay, like that's there's always somebody new, I guess, but even like like I'll go through the turnstiles and someone will be walking past, oh hey, how's it going? Oh, going good. And then like that's just like I try and talk to people like in passing because you know there's always the chance that especially at work you see the same person over and over again and you always say hi to them and then one day they're like hey, so like what do you do? And then that's an opportunity for you because they might work in an area that you would like and they think of you. um
Yeah.
so I talk to strangers enough.
Okay. Anyways, as a Patreon member, you get to ask questions every week for the episode. We have 3 this week, which is a little less than usual, but
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. Super Dude 01 says, "What is your favorite game of all time?"
You want to take a guess?
Mine's GTA 5.
You want to take a guess? Take a guess.
Fallout 4.
Yeah. There you go.
There you go. Nikki says, "What would you rate Black Ops 6 out of 10? And what is your favorite map to play multiplayer?" I am not gonna rate it out of 10 yet. I have not finished the campaign. I mean, if I'm just going based off zombies and multiplayer, like a 9.
I would say an 8 or a 9. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's. I seriously think it's the best COD since like Black Ops 2.
You also have to remember, so they are still changing things, right?
Very drastically too.
So like the biggest thing is
Game's kind of buggy.
the recon specialist ability where you can like see through walls for the first 2 seconds of you spawning in. They just
Terrible
turned,
idea to begin with.
they turned it
I don't
down to half a second.
It's half a second now.
I think so. Yeah, I saw something about it yesterday. It's either a second or half
You know
a
what? I
second.
mean, I did use it this morning for that challenge, and I think maybe it felt more like what it should be. I will say, because I was like, okay, I have an idea of where people. Oh shit, that guy's really close. I'm gonna go that way. You know what I mean? But it wasn't like, oh, I'm like watching somebody I know which way they're coming. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that is straight up wall hacks, and that's toxic and shouldn't be a thing. So I like the change. Favorite map? If we're talking like normal map, besides Nuketown, which I think is everybody's like nostalgic favorite, Babylon.
I was gonna say Babylon, aka Baby Lion. Yeah. So
And then when it comes to face-off maps, which are the smaller maps, I would go with Stakeout.
I haven't
They
played
have,
Stakeout yet.
like I said, it is like their version of Shipment. It is just like you spawn, die.
Yeah. I
It's really good for headshots.
the
There's
thing
a
is though,
hallway that everybody
I have
gets
not
headshots in.
seen. I usually do hardcore domination, hardcore hardpoint. I have not seen Babylon at all lately.
Hate when
It's
they like mess with stuff and the rotations
it's
messed up.
always derelict and payback and like just maps. I'm like, eh.
Well, this is what I will say. Or you know what? I'll wait till we get to Black Ops 6 after our questions because we're gonna talk about season one and stuff like that. So, but anyways, yeah, that Babylon's my favorite. Tommy Slays asks if you could watch one Adam Sandler movie for the rest of your life, what would you pick? Happy Gilmore, hands down, Happy Gilmore. I think that is his best movie when it comes to his comedies.
Yeah, probably. What's the one? Is it Big Daddy? What is it?
Big Daddy's great.
Yeah, probably that one.
I've
Uh,
watched Big Daddy a couple times, like in the last I don't know 5 years, and it's really good. But I definitely think that he has like a lot of movies that feel it's almost like he's literally playing the same character, just
yeah,
in different circumstances. And I think a lot of those characters come from the character he played in Happy Gilmore. You know what I mean? So it's like watching like the first version of something, and there's
yeah.
something about that first version that just holds up better than everything else. Like everything else feels like an imitation of it almost, or like it's trying to catch that same vibe.
Well, because it reminds me of
Mr.
like
Deeds is the same way. Mr. Deeds is I don't think I like Mr. Deeds almost as much as Big Daddy and Happy Gilmore.
it
That one's
reminds me of
pretty good.
Ryan Reynolds has the issue like he plays himself in like every movie.
Yeah, no. So when people say that, I think it's literally just like that's just he does the same thing. I mean, I
Yeah,
feel like The Rock is the same way. Um, I definitely get that, but when it comes to Adam Sandler, it's like it's just the type of humor he does.
yeah. Well,
You
and
know
I
what I
mean
mean? So
like Uncut Gems, I still think is such a crazy like role for
it's
him
like
to
a
play. Like,
different person, man.
yeah, dude.
Straight
So
up like a different person.
I still can't believe he was gonna be in Inglorious Bastards, and then they didn't end up having him.
Yeah, that would have been a crazy scene if he was the guy with the bat.
That's why the music is so like it's so intense when he gets introduced because it was supposed to be like this big reveal of like, oh my god, it's Adam Sandler, and you're like, who is this guy? Like,
Yeah.
so
Weird how things like that change.
yeah,
But yeah, I'm gonna go Happy Gilmore.
okay.
On to our next topic. And again, I apologize for the scatterbrain this week. It is my brain is not firing at all. But Black Ops 6 update. Season 1 is incoming next week, 14th, right? Hopefully the whole
Yes.
game doesn't break. Um I I mean, I think it was just Cisco in the Discord. It was like it's a mid update. I was like, bro, it's literally like the biggest like season 1 update I think I've seen for Call of
Yeah,
Duty.
at
They're
least
adding
Zombies
so
is
much
getting
stuff.
content this season. Freaking Modern
Yeah,
Warfare Zombies was
new
getting nothing.
Gobblegums, a
Three
new map.
three new Gobblegums, a new perk, a new map in December.
What
Uh,
perk?
they haven't said
It
anything
just says
about
the new perk.
new perk, new Gobblegums, new augments, all that stuff has not been revealed yet. There's also a new field upgrade, I
I
think.
need to play some more zombies. I've
So
not played a lot.
the new map comes out in December, which I was like, I get it.
I might be
more
down for
time.
some zombies tonight.
Um, and then there is going to be a new enemy type, and they showed a sneak peek, and it's just the freaking mimic. Like it's the same enemies from Cold War in this so far. The only original enemy they've had is the What's the thing from Terminus? The I don't know. The thing that like grabs you and opens up its mouth and it's like that thing.
I know what you're
That's
talking about.
that's
Yeah.
I think is it was it amalgam or whatever? I don't remember. But it's that thing is the only new thing that they've had so far, and that's a little disappointing. But they had the mimic in the campaign for like a specific mission. Um,
Are you
and
talking about Black Ops 6?
yeah,
Spoiler alert, I haven't gotten that far.
well, I didn't say how it happened. Um,
I didn't know it was a thing though. I wasn't expecting that. That would have caught me off guard.
you don't know
100% would have caught me off
you
guard.
don't know what's gonna happen.
But now I'm expecting it to show up at some point.
I
Whereas before that I wasn't.
I didn't tell you if it was an Easter egg.
Whatever.
Finish
I
the
didn't know it
campaign.
was the thing.
It's been almost a month, bro. Finish the campaign.
It has not been almost a month. It came out on the 25th. We're two and a
Okay.
half weeks in.
Okay, it feels like it's been a month.
Yeah, because you play so much zombies.
No, because it's been a long few weeks, bro. I've There's been a lot going on. We
Well,
had
the last thing I was gonna say about Black Ops is that unfortunately, I think the biggest thing about it, and it kind of makes me sad, is that I think I was talking to Jorge about this last night because went and saw Nora together. Um, I I think I just don't enjoy video games as much as I used to.
and that's why he hasn't finished the campaign.
No, I mean like I think that's why I just don't like the desire to game is not there like it used to be. You know, so
It's
like
harder
if
to
I
sit down and play for like hours.
well I think I've said this about other stuff before, but it's like okay, I can either be a shitty dad and a husband and play 8 hours of Call of Duty today, or I can go like see baby Casey who just turned 7 months already, like say a new word or something or a new babble or you
Throw
know what I
some gang
mean? Like
signs or something.
yeah, of course I'm gonna choose my daughter over Call of Duty, so that's where I am with it. But I think the Patreon gaming sessions are that much more fun because it gives me a real legitimate reason to play the game. You know, um, we definitely have to do zombies one of these. Like maybe next weekend we should do zombies.
The only thing that
Oh
sucks
well, there's
about
gonna be a new update
yeah,
though, new season.
the only thing that sucks about doing zombies is you only have 4 slots and we fill up half of
Yeah,
them. So
I don't
yeah,
know.
I
We might
mean,
just do it like we did last time where it was first come first serve.
Liberty Falls was fun to do with 4 people. Um, it got really hectic really fast. Also,
It got
I
hard.
just want to say I carried no downs, tons of revives. Okay, I'm
I
better.
was running around trying not to get hit by other people's zombies, like most of the time, because people would just bring them towards me, and I'm like,
So
"Fuck, I gotta go somewhere else."
that's the thing. So Terminus probably won't have that issue if we do 4 people. Because the only time that we ever encountered each other on Terminus is when like either we were actively searching each other out, or when you would go down and I would have to like go and revive you. Or I would go down and you have to revive me. That's pretty much it.
Yeah,
Like
fair enough.
we wouldn't encounter each other very much. So, but I kudos to Treyarch for letting everybody get the Wonder Weapon in this,
Yeah,
because
that's cool.
2 people were able to get the jet gun in our Liberty Falls match. You guys didn't go for the Wonder Weapons. You and who else was
I was
there?
going for camos.
Yeah, and by the way, the camo.
Carnage, right?
I
Tyler?
think yeah, I think so. The camo grind for zombies is rough.
It's hard.
Yeah,
It
because
takes a long time. I
you
mean,
have to
we
play
did
multiple
41
matches.
rounds. 41 rounds. And I used my XM4 the entire time, and I think I got 2 camos.
Yeah. Now, I think if I was strictly going for camos and I wasn't trying to get to high rounds, then I would probably be able to do it
And I just
easily.
kind of like generally aim for their head because that's how you get critical kills, right?
Yeah. Well, and I think critical kills on elites might count for more. I don't know. I don't know. It's how it was in Cold War, I think.
I don't know, but anyways, that's how I feel about Black Ops right now. Great game. Um,
I'm just excited for that
I
replacer
just
bundle.
I'm just not playing it as much because I just don't game as much. But it's definitely gonna be my main game, I think, until something else comes along. I have no desire to play Fortnite whatsoever.
I'm
So
actually curious to see. I think Black Ops 6 is beating out Fortnite right now. On every platform that has both. Uh, but I'm curious to see if that lasts.
yeah, I don't know.
I'm tired of seeing people who are Prestige 6, every gun gold already, and I'm like, season one's not even out yet. What are you doing?
That's I'm trying to like savor it, and make it last, because I got like 3 gold guns in like one weekend, and like
I only have
I
two
felt like a piece
guns.
of shit afterward.
I don't.
I think I'm working on my fifth or sixth one.
Yeah,
So
I'm only I'm on my third and fourth right now because I do two at once usually, and the headshots are really what like makes it take forever. Like people will get so many headshots in a match, and I'm like, it's impossible. Like I get like maybe 5 to 10.
you gotta do those stakeout 24/7 is where you get the headshots. I might hop on tonight and do that to get some because the SMGs are rough when it comes to headshots, man.
Yeah, well,
It is
most time I get
hard
headshots and it's an accident.
because I have four gold ARs, and I'm working on my fifth gold gun, which is an SMG. Because I got to the point where like the guns that I need to get gold that are ARs now are still locked, and I'm like level 28 or something. So I did use my prestige unlock token to unlock like the AS Val, which is like level 55.
Yeah, that's the last gun you get. Yeah,
Yeah, and I think a lot of people are doing that
I
because
gotta
otherwise you can't really use it. So
I gotta when I hit third prestige, I gotta unlock the or mutant injection because that's like it turns out that's the most overpowered thing
oh,
in
for
zombies.
zombies,
Yeah,
you get an unlock token for both, or
it's just for one.
I didn't know that there was something that you. Wow. Okay, that is interesting, man.
Yeah. Well, because I jacked up and I wasted my unlock token on my first prestige. I was like, why did I do that? I was like, what?
What did you
I
What
don't.
did you
It
use
was.
it on?
I think it was scavenger. I was like, why
Ah,
did I do that?
what the hell? What a
I
waste!
know because I was like, I only play hardcore, so I don't ever run out of ammo.
Stupid.
I know. I was like, why did I do that?
On to our next topic. I don't remember why this came. Oh, you know what? I think it came up because somebody recognized me at the movies when I went and saw Conclave, which I just forgot that I saw. Holy shit! But that was so good too. I saw like 2 huge award contender movies. I'll talk about it in a bit. But anyways, somebody was like, "You're Danny DeVito." I'm like, "Yep," like said
Yep.
hi, and like this guy's like telling his friend, he's like, "Yeah, that guy's like famous. He's on TikTok, blah blah blah." And um, first of all, I don't think I'm famous. I'm flattered. I think TikTok famous is one thing, but fame is weird to me. Um, Celebrity encounters is basically what I wanted to talk about. Have you ever encountered anybody and you're like, yo, that's so and so? Or you see somebody and you're like, I'm pretty sure that's so and so.
Uh, there was a really high up dude for the company that I work for, but I don't really want to talk about that. I don't even know if he's necessarily famous unless you care about that industry. Um,
Okay.
but no, I don't. I don't think so. I've never encountered a celebrity in my life.
My
Uh,
first celebrity encounter was Carrot Top at a Walgreens in San Francisco. You remember Carrot Top?
what the heck, dude? I think I remember
You
you saying
remember?
something about it, but I don't.
He was roided out, man. Just jacked. Yeah, he was just like walking down the aisle, and somebody's like, "Yo, that's Carrot Top," and I was like, "What the fuck?" And then like he walks by, and he's just like, "Hi," and then like keeps going.
Well, so I will say, I know this isn't necessarily like exactly what you were asking about as far as the topic goes, but I do think it's funny when I kind of bring up, oh yeah, like I do some stuff for my brother where like I upload the videos to YouTube for him and I will do the descriptions and stuff. And they're like, oh wait, what does your brother do? And I was like, oh he's a content creator. And they're like, what's his username? And I'm like, I don't really share that. They're like, oh well, how many subscribers does he have? And I'm like, oh, I think it's like something like 8 million. They're like, what? They're like, holy crap, dude. But I do think it's interesting when I bring that up because they get very surprised because I mean like if someone had 8 million subscribers anywhere you'd be like that's insane, that's a lot of people.
Yeah,
So it's like to say that and then get that response, I'm like, oh yeah, that is a lot, isn't it? Like I
it's
don't ever.
definitely not normal.
Yeah, so
Um,
interesting.
like I even think if somebody said a million, I would be like, whoa. But like
8 is
a lot
insane.
more people have a million than people have like 5 million plus. You know, like the more subscribers you get, the less people are in that like ballpark. I guess.
I've never
Whatever.
had somebody
Um,
recognize me in person.
just
When I was working at Best Buy, I remember it was when I started my account on TikTok, and I had posted one thing, and my phone was blowing up, and I was like, "What is happening?" And people were like, "Yo, is this Danny DeVito's brother?" And I brought it up to one of the guys I was working. And they were like, "Your brother's Danny DeVito?" And I was like, "Oh," I was like,
that's crazy. But yeah, as far as other celebrity encounters I've had, I obviously got to work with Jason Mewes. That dude, I
"Yeah."
spent the whole day with him. That was crazy. He bought me Starbucks. Like that was
Didn't you
nuts.
play Fortnite with him?
Yeah, I played Fortnite with him afterward. I pop into his chat, say hi every once in a while. He's like, "Oh, hey, what's up, Danny DeVito?
So
I can't believe it's already been a year." You know, like
you
shit like that.
you have seen Joe Rogan in person. You,
I Joe Rogan was. We literally had a table at a comedy club where we sat down, and I'm like, "Oh, sweet, we're like literally 2 seats away from the stage," and or no, we were at a table, and this couple sat down right in front of the stage, and the lady was like, "I don't want to sit this close," and he's like, "Really? Like, what are you worried about?" She's like, I don't want to get made fun of this and that," and I was like, we'll switch you," and Bobby's like, and we sat right in front, and at one point Joe Rogan told a joke and did a spin kick and literally almost kicked Bobby in the face, and he was like, and like kept going.
wow. Well, and
um
then there's the Brad Pitt encounter, which is like the
I'll get
best
to that.
story.
um so Joe Rogan,
Kevin Smith.
Bert Kreischer, Tim Dillon.
Oh, you're talking about
He was
when you
hilarious.
were, yeah.
I ran into Joey Diaz on the way to the bathroom at the Comedy Store, and I was literally just walking, and I got out of the way for him, and he said, "What's up, motherfucker?" and then kept going. And I was like, "That's the most Joey Diaz thing
Yeah.
ever."
So you've met Kevin Smith.
I met Kevin Smith at at his movie theater, which was very cool, and it was cool to talk to him for a little moment. And then at the Bullet Train premiere, I met John Bernthal because he stepped on my shoe, and he like apologized. He was like, "Oh, my bad, bro," and I was like, "Holy fuck, you're the Punisher." He's tall as shit, man. Um, Brad Pitt like looked me in the eyes and like gave me a nod because I was like the only one in front of him that didn't have a phone trying to record him. So that was really cool.
You've
Um,
literally interviewed celebrities.
I yeah, interviewed Austin Butler and Jodie Comer, Norman Reedus. Norman Reedus was a really
Dude,
funny
did
dude.
I ever tell you so okay, this is dumb, but in Minecraft you have these things called nerd poles, which is basically just you build up in a straight line so that you can like see what's around you, right? Well, in high school, one of my best friends, he had started like a Minecraft server, and he had some friends that were like in the grade above us, and they kept talking about some towers they made, right? but what they called them were Norman Reedus fetus towers. I was like, what does that
Well,
mean?
I think that's a reference to Death Stranding.
The thing is, the game wasn't out yet.
No, but the trailer, like
Like,
he literally was walking around with the fetus in the trailer.
I don't
The
think it
trailer
was.
came out years before the
Well,
game.
let's see. So, you keep talking while I look this up. Um,
Um, the Russian guy from um For All Mankind. I talked to him.
2016.
I,
That
I, I would
I was 14. That makes sense. It must have been
yeah,
that, dude.
told you. But do you remember For All Mankind?
Yeah.
There's the lady with the glasses.
Hmm.
She
Remember?
has the love interest with the Russian guy. I met the Russian guy.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, he
Uh,
was really nice. I did the worst shit ever though, because I was like, holy shit, it's you. And I was like, I like my brain just went blank because I like when you realize like, oh, you're that person, like it's like your brain fucking short circuits and you can't like recall. Like I was like, yeah, you are fantastic in that show. And I'm like, that show. And then I was like, oh, like that show. Like I'm an idiot. And then I like try to shake his hand and I realized he's holding two things of popcorn and two sodas. And I'm like,
oh!
I like fist bumped him and I was like, I'm a fucking idiot. But he said thank you. It was like, but it was I made it so awkward. I felt I told Bobby, I was like, it's one of those things someday where I'll see him again someday and be like, yeah. I remember the first time I met you. I tried to shake your hand as you were holding two things of popcorn and sodas. I feel like such an
The
idiot.
only thing that would be worse is if he had no hand. Then that's just really awkward. Because I think,
Like Happy Gilmore.
well, I think oh, I forgot who did it, but I remember I saw something where like the guy strip just had no hand, and they went to go shake
That's
it,
so awkward.
and
Yeah.
they were like, oh crap, and they go shake the other hand, he still has no other, he has no arms, and I was like,
Oh no.
doing?
Damn.
Yeah. I don't know what's worse between that and like an awkward handshake though, because I know PewDiePie had one that was really bad.
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know. I don't know.
But anyways, on to our last topic. This brain rotty episode where we're just like going on random tangents and stuff. I can't stay focused. Um, the winter storm made me want to talk about cold weather. So I think I don't know if I like summer or winter more.
Winter.
Winter?
Yeah.
I think I like fall. I think fall is my
Well,
favorite
that wasn't an
season.
option. You said summer or winter. You said
Right,
summer or
but
winter. Pick one. Pick
so
one. Pick one.
I think fall is the perfect balance between the two, right? Whereas spring, you have the pollen issue. So you specifically, I'm sure, don't like
Yeah.
spring because of your allergies. Um, but if I had to pick summer or winter, I think I would pick winter. But summer has that vibe to it where like school's out and like people have free time and like I don't know. But then winter has like Christmas and the holidays and so it's a really interesting question.
Summer is only ever going to affect me if I am only in school. So if I like quit my
Right.
job today and went back to college or whatever and was only in college, that's the only time summer
But
would ever
weather
matter to me.
specific. You like it cold more than
Yes.
it's hot. Yeah,
Yes.
okay. I think I do too, especially with my Mustang because I have those heated seats and the heated steering wheel. So now like driving when it's cold is so much more
Well,
enjoyable.
dude, so when I was on first shift for that 2 weeks recently, I'd get off at like what 2:30, 3 o'clock, 3 o'clock, I think, and or no, it was 3:30 is what it was. Um, and getting off of work at that time of day, and it's like you're ready to go home, and it's hot, and there's traffic, and you're like, this sucks. There's nothing fun about this. It's just hot. The AC is blasting all the way, so I can barely hear my music, and you're just driving like 10 below speed limit because traffic's backed up. And there's homeless people walking around, jaywalking. You almost hit them. Like I'm just saying. During the winter, you have less people outside because it's so cold, and also I can't hear you.
Sorry, I forgot I muted myself because the dog was barking. I like winter clothes too. I like
Yes.
dressing for the winter way more than the
Yeah.
summer
Yeah,
because I
because
like layers and
you can
I
put
like
more.
jackets.
Yeah. Well, even like I was like, man, I haven't worn this jacket in a long time. I put it on. I was like, oh, this is a nice jacket. Just things like
I
that.
I got a really nice. I finally splurged and got myself a really nice um waterproof bomber jacket. Yeah.
Waterproof bomber jacket. So
Yeah.
so there's no hood for it though.
No, but I could put a hoodie under it. It's not like so thick that it's gonna like it keeps you warm. But if it's really cold out, like when it had snowed, I was wearing a hoodie under it, and so like I like wearing a jacket and with a hoodie under it too, like those layers and stuff. Like
Hmm.
I don't know, it's very comfy. Um,
Long sleeve shirts.
yeah, I long sleeve shirts are depending on the shirt though. It's I don't know. I like some long sleeve shirts, some of them I don't. And I've noticed that a lot of long sleeve shirts are like thinner for some reason.
Yeah, because it's
I don't like that.
the thing that I noticed. It's like they want you to roll up the sleeves.
Well, that I end up rolling up the sleeves because I don't like how long the sleeves are and how they like get in the way of my watch and shit
Like,
like that. You know.
but you know what would look really stupid if they had shirts that only went to your elbows. It's like with
Remember,
long sleeve shirts, they want you to roll them up to your elbows. But if you had a shirt that was like that to begin with, it would look dumb.
no, baseball tees they only go to the elbow, just past they go to your forearm,
They go,
like
yeah,
right here.
yeah, but that's the
I think
forearm.
that looks good.
No, I'm talking like literally like when you roll up a long sleeve shirt and it goes to like about where your elbow is, so it can't go any further. Like that looks fine. But if you had a shirt that literally stopped, where the sleeve stopped at the elbow, it would look dumb. Whereas
And it's kind of
baseball
like
tees,
military uniforms.
as in like they stop at the elbow, or are you saying that they're supposed
Like
to be
if
rolled
you
up?
look up military uniforms, the sleeves are like rolled. They're made so that you can literally like pull them down if you needed to, like because they're like fire resistant and shit like that.
You'd have to show me what you're talking about because I don't actually know. Um. Anyways, yeah, I'm happy about the cold weather though. I heard it might snow here, and I because I'm on second shift, I will encounter it, which I was like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, well, if there's actual like, which I don't think I'm gonna encounter here. Like I think that was literally like as bad as it gets what we just experienced. But if apparently my Mustang has this like or it's like icy snow or like wet snow mode, and it's supposed to like handle better in the snow. So I'm like, that's cool to have, you know. But it handled really well in the like snowy rain that we kind of had. So I was happy with that. The traction controlled, like the sensor said it was blocked, and so like it was like until you restart the car, like you can't use traction control for safety. And I'm like, that kind of sucks, but it makes sense.
Yeah,
Because I was driving and I was like using the adaptive cruise control, and all of a sudden it just floored it, and I was like, "Whoa!" And I like hit the brake, and then it pops up with the warning. It's like sensor blocked, and I was like, "Bro, if there was somebody in front of me, my car would have just went."
well, so um,
Well,
I
no, I would have slowed down because
I
yeah,
I I think it's interesting that we're at the point in the year where if I get into my car and the weather's a certain way, I can't see through the front windshield because
yeah.
it like ices over, right? And on that topic, okay, if you have not experienced it before, do not, I repeat, do not go and get warm or hot water and pour it on
Oh
your
God,
windshield. It
it
will
will
break
crack.
it. It will,
Yeah.
yeah, do not do that.
Did you do that?
No, I'm just saying
Oh,
like I
okay.
saw a video about it
I've
and
seen somebody
I was
do it.
like I shouldn't do that. Um but yeah, just like if that means you get up early in the morning to go to work and your windshield has ice on it, just wake up an extra 5 minutes early from now on and just have your car warm up a bit
Or you can
because
just buy one of those $5 scrapers from like AutoZone,
or
like
that
I did.
or that.
So ours has a brush on one end, so I brushed the snow off my car. It was kind
Do
of fun.
do that too.
Felt like I was it felt like I was doing like Power Washer
Don't
Simulator,
they
but
have like windshield de-icer as well?
yeah, for really cold climates, they actually recommend that you use a windshield wiper fluid that's also like a de-icer.
Yeah.
Oh,
So just
but
that's a
not that cold
PSA.
here.
Don't use warm or hot water to clear that ice off because you're gonna regret it. But um, yeah,
Yeah,
that's about it. You guys want to
let
talk?
us know in the comments. What do you like? You like summer weather or winter weather
And
more?
also let us know in the comments if you want your lunch in school to be Lunchables or Little Caesars, and then tell me what your favorite tail lights are.
Anyways, on to our recommendations of the week. What do you got, Chris?
um, I tried out that Minecraft AI game.
Oh
Did you hear
God,
about that? So,
no.
it's like it's. I'm gonna be honest. It's not a very replayable game, but I think it's worth trying it out because it's very trippy. But basically, you will load into like a frame, like a picture from a Minecraft world, right? And an AI generates what happens next. So you will be able to control the game like you would in Minecraft, and it tries to guess what's happening based off of your inputs, right? And so it'll be
Mm.
pretty normal at first. You'll be like walking around a field and you'll go and break a tree, right? But then like if you dig down, the lighting changes and it knows the lighting has to change, but sometimes it interprets those pixels turning dark as like, oh, this is a different block. And so suddenly you're mining like granite. And you're like, oh, okay, like that's okay because it just means I'm going deeper. But then sometimes it'll get so dark that it'll just reset. So even though you were looking down, the game thinks that you're looking up, and so it'll render the sky. And so then you have to look down, and you're in like a completely different space. Like you're back on the
That's
surface.
trippy as
So
hell.
and then like you'll look at something yellow, and it'll turn to like honeycomb, and then you look at it a certain way, and suddenly it turns into lava, and then you're in hell. You're like you're literally
That's
like
crazy.
it's
That's
it's
pretty trippy.
it's cool. It's I think it's Oasis dot Descartes.ai. So
Mm.
check that out. There is a queue, but it's like 2 minutes, and you can get priority on their Discord. I didn't do that, but yeah, try it
That's an
out.
interesting idea.
Please do not do LSD before you play it though, because
Oh
you will throw
Jesus.
up probably. But it's very trippy. Yeah, I tried it out today, like before we started, before we even played Black Ops 6, and yeah, it's pretty cool.
I was surprised you were up already.
Yeah, well, I came home early last night. I went into work
Mm.
at like noon, so there was a Marine Corps birthday thing, so I was helping out with that.
Ah,
Yeah.
gotcha. Yeah, makes sense. Um, I got a couple recommendations. So I watched Presumed Innocent, which is an 8-part miniseries on Apple TV Plus, where Jake Gyllenhaal plays a lawyer who gets accused of murdering a fellow lawyer, and that shit is crazy.
Did he do it?
If you want, if you want a good twist and turn crime drama, it's like 10 out of 10, man. I'll give it 9 out of 10. For if I could rate it on Letterboxd, which some miniseries you can, like the Penguins on there, I would probably give it 4.5 out of 5
You gotta
because I
give
think
me your
a lot of them
H-
have pacing issues.
you gotta give me your HBO Max login so I can watch Penguin.
They're cracking down on that. Can't do it anymore. Sorry. Um. uh. So that's a really good miniseries if you need a miniseries to watch or you want to watch a Jake Gyllenhaal crime drama. Which he's great in
And
that
so
genre.
what is this Honora thing? What is it about?
Hang on. So and then I saw Conclave,
Oh,
which if you're a younger viewer, it's PG, so anybody can go see it. But it is the most riveting PG movie I have ever seen. It is a movie about the Pope dies, and so you see the process of selecting a new Pope and how it works. But it's a political thriller. So there's basically like Ralph Fiennes, the guy who plays Voldemort. Um,
ooh,
he's the guy. He's like the the main priest who's like in charge of making sure that
What?
it's he's like he's managing it basically. He's making sure that people aren't cheating and stuff. But there's a mystery to it, and like as it unfolds, there's a lot of twists and turns as well. But it is super slow, but so well made. It's definitely an awards contender. Um, I could not believe it was PG. Most
So
PG movies are so tame, and this was crazy.
that sounds like
So
it sounds like the death of Stalin, but for the Pope. Like
never seen the
that's
death of Stalin, but
you need to see that, bro. It's such a
that's
good
a
movie.
comedy. This is a really like
I know, but I'm saying it's like
serious drama.
seeing that process is like
There was not a single funny moment in this movie.
I wasn't saying it was funny. I'm saying seeing the process because that is an interesting thing where it's like no one ever talks about the in between. You only talk about once things have started because
Yeah,
that I mean even things like for like the process between like you know when World War II ends and then you go into peacetime like all the rebuilding that has to take place during that very interesting to me, but no one ever talks about it at all. So I
yeah,
think that's probably like a really good topic for movies. So I'm actually interested in seeing that.
yeah. I'm sure it'll be on something by the end of the year. It's an awards contender movie, so they're gonna like probably put it somewhere where they want people to see it. I saw Nora last night, which won the Palme d'Or at Cannes, which is like pretty much the highest award you can win besides like winning Oscars. Like when it comes to festivals, it's the highest award you can win. The most prestigious one. Like I think the first Clerks won it.
Oh
I
wow.
think, or no, I think that was Sundance. It won like the biggest Sundance award. This won like the big artsy fartsy award. Um, but Sean Baker is the director. He kind of exploded on the scene when he made a movie called Tangerine, which is a movie completely shot on an iPhone. So that was like pretty groundbreaking. And this was before iPhones were like good. So it's crazy. Um, but then he made a movie that Ben has been trying to get me to watch for years called The Florida Project, which is a drama. It's like a coming of age drama about these people who live in like they live in like a hotel outside Disney World,
Hmm.
and like they actually shot it at a hotel, like a motel near Disney World. I think, I think that's what it's about. But anyways, I'm probably gonna watch that because I just watched this, and then there's another one called Red Rocket, which is more of a comedy, that I heard is really good. That I'm probably gonna watch that one first. I'm probably gonna watch that, then the Florida Project like tonight, because Honora was a masterpiece, and I'm seeing people debate whether it's a masterpiece, and I think once a movie gets to the point where people are arguing whether it's a masterpiece because they are nitpicking things that are personal taste or personal interpretations, it has achieved the highest form of art where everybody gets something else out of it. But the fact that they're only debating things that are personal biases, that tells me that it's a perfect film, or at least in my eyes.
Well, what is it about?
Um, it is about a prostitute played by the girl from uh, Scream 5 and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. She's the one who gets like the nose busted in Once Upon a
Mm,
Time in Hollywood.
mm,
The one that screams and runs out into the pool and gets
mm.
flamethrowered. Anyway, she's a prostitute in like New York, and she falls in love with this rich Russian guy, and shit hits the fan, and the whole entire second act is the most hilarious thing I've seen in a long time. It's the most laughing I've had at the movies that I can remember. It was 2 hours and 15 minutes, and it just flew by. I saw it with Jorge, and even Jorge was like, "Yeah, that's a 5 out of 5 movie for me too." Like it was. It starts out and it's like got this vibe to it, and then like we get to the second act, and then it's just crazy and hilarious for like an hour and 15 minutes or so, and then you get the third act, which is like the resolution and all that, but then it ends in such a real emotional way, and the final shot just made me go, oh, that's because I was like, I don't know about this ending, and then like the last final shot I was like, Oh, and then it just ends in silence. And I heard somebody behind me and this was a packed auditorium because there's only two showings for this movie. Packed auditorium, and I just heard somebody go, "Wow." And I was like, "Yeah, that was a fucking good movie. That was a damn good movie. I think it's gonna win Best Picture, Chris. I think it's gonna win Best Picture, and it should because it was beautifully shot. But it's also like, to me, when they say Best Picture, it's like well rounded, the best. You know what I mean? Like the whole picture in its entire form is above everybody else. And for me, that's this year. That is my pick. I think Dune Part Two's got the best like visual effects. Um, and I think Hans Zimmer should. I don't. There's a huge debate right now whether Hans Zimmer should be considered for best score because he used so much music from the first Dune. Like they
Hmm.
disqualified him at first, and then they went back because people got mad. So now it's in consideration again. But I'm hearing Nosferatu. They just did early screenings for that, which is crazy because it doesn't come out for like another month and a half or something. But the reactions to that are calling it hands down the best horror movie of the year. So I'm excited for that. Um,
What is
but
he?
I think this is my best picture pick. So
Does he flip the light switch on and off like in SpongeBob? Dude,
they're saying this movie's
Nosferatu.
they're saying this movie's terrifying, dude. Because it's like gothic horror almost.
Well, because it's like the OG like vampire story, isn't it? Isn't that what it is?
This guy, like this vampire, I mean, it's scary imagery. Like it's like, oh, you see a shadow, and then he like floats out of the darkness, and then attacks you.
Well,
Like that shit's fucking scary.
it says Nosferatu of 2024 is a remake of the 1922 German film, which was in turn based on Bram Stoker's 1897 novel Dracula. So it's based off of
Yes,
Dracula.
it's the German Dracula.
Wow.
Yeah, but anyways, I mean, they're everybody's blown away by it. So it's award season. There's going to be a lot of awards movies. Like I said, if you want to watch something at home, Presumed Innocent is one of the best miniseries of the year, next to The Penguin, in my opinion. If you're a youngin who can't watch rated R movies yet, and you're up for an awards movie, Conclave is really good, and it's only PG. It still blows my mind that it's PG. It really like pushed the limits for me. And then if you're a big boy or a big girl and you can watch rated R movies, Honora is very, very graphic when it comes to nudity, but there's a reason to it. Like it is justified, I think. But it is, I mean, it's like Wolf of Wall Street level crazy, man.
Hmm.
Wolf of Wall Street level crazy, but from the perspective of a female prostitute. So, it is hilarious though. If you want to have a really good laugh, go see Honora. Um, and go watch Pollo Loco again. Get it to 100K. We're still going, man. We're still going. We did get accepted into another festival somehow. So we are officially at 40 selections. That is a nice number to end on. So
Yeah.
happy with that. Thank you for supporting Pollo Loco. It really means a lot. And like I said, am in the process of pre-production for a feature, and it is the biggest thing I've attempted. But I'm really excited. It's going to be an emotional film, and it's an emotional journey. So thank you guys for being along for the ride. And yeah, we'll see you next week. Get some freaking Fit Butters, get some G Fuel. Join the Patreon. We'd love to have you. And I think we're going to go eat some Cheesecake Factory. So peace.
I'm gonna go take a dump.